Hello Stunning fan, Michelle here. We're glad you stopped by. Today we will be unboxing and assembling a DikaSun 10x12 gazebo with screened walls and giving a short tutorial of all the things that we think might help you if you purchase one. The first thing we did was remove all the pieces from the box. We laid out all the pieces out on our outdoor table in chronological order. Each of the pieces came conveniently numbered with numbers 1 to 23. We also read through the instruction manual before we started assembling. We would like to add a few things to the directions that will hopefully make this assembly process easier for you. In step 1, the directions tell you to assemble pieces 3, 5, and 4 together. You will assemble 2 of these. This is not stated in the direction pamphlet. Next, in step 1, the directions tell you to assemble pieces 3, 6, and 4 together. Likewise, you will assemble 2 of these. We found that it is much easier to insert the bolts towards the center because it allows a little better access in the already snug space. Here you can see us putting the bolts in facing outwards. We changed our method once we discovered it was easier with the bolts facing towards the center. The centerpiece also has a U-shaped joint that the top canopy bars will attach to. Be sure that this piece is facing upwards along the straight side of the assembly, not towards the curved side facing down. For step 1, you will use the shorter bolts labeled with the number 18. You should be left with 8 of these bolts after you finish this first assembly that you will use later for a step towards the end, so be sure not to lose them. In step 2, you will assemble pieces 14, 13, and another 14 together. Again, you will make 2 of these. The directions do not give you this detail. Then, also in step 2, you will assemble pieces 15, 13, and 15 together, making 2 of these also. These will act as your curtain rods for the screen netting that came with the gazebo by attaching to the previous assemblies you put together in step 1. We assembled these pieces but waited till after step 3 to attach them to the structure. We also decided to assemble all of the assemblies pictured in step 4, ready to move to the area of the yard that we would be putting the gazebo together in. This is what you can actually see us doing now. Some of these pieces fit together very snug, so snug that we almost thought that they wouldn't fit. But don't be discouraged, it just took some elbow grease to get them together, and they did actually come together and fit. We are a lifestyle channel that features a variety of content from cooking, unboxing videos, to anything that can be a DIY style project. We would love it if you would like and subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified the next time that we decide to share one of our projects. The next thing we did was lay out all the square frame assemblies. These are the ones that we built in step 1, alternating the 2 different size combinations so that the 10-foot and the 12-foot sections were parallel to each other. Once they were in position, we proceeded to bolt the edges of these assemblies to the number 1 poles with the number 19 bolts into the provided holes in the poles. This formed the square frame for the top of the gazebo. Once these were all assembled, it made it easier to attach the curtain rod assemblies from step 2 using the bolts that were labeled 21 and the spacers labeled 23. After this, we started assembling the canopy top. The assemblies with pieces 8 and 7 go in the corners of the canopy structure, and they insert into the longer portion of the star-shaped center connector, and they click into place in each of the corners of the gazebo structure. Assemblies with pieces 11 and 12 go between the corners on the 12-inch side of the canopy structure, and assemblies with pieces 9 and 10 go between the corners of the 10-inch side of the canopy structure. These all fit into the shorter openings of the star-shaped center connector, and they bolt to the main structure in the provided bolt openings. Once assembled, we put the canopy shade fabric on. We did this just before adding the bottom portion of the leg poles for easier access. When adding the bottom poles labeled number 2, this is when you'll use those last 8 bolts left over from step 1. Now we're on the home stretch. Hang the net curtains with the provided curtain rings onto the curtain rods. We suggest placing all the rings into the provided holes on the curtains first, then positioning the zippers in the center of each of the openings with the longest portions on the 12-foot side and the shorter portions on the 10-foot side. Clip the curtains onto the curtain rods and then tie the fabric to the corner poles. This is not how we did it in the beginning, but thought it would be nice for you to learn through our own mistakes or misadventure. Overall, we really love how the gazebo came out, and we hope our video will help make the assembly easier for you if you decide to purchase one of these DikaSun gazebos. We'll leave a link in the description box below in case you're interested or in the market for a new gazebo, because it is really nice. Thanks for stopping by and have an amazing day.